For Biafra must be restored, for there is nothing the enemies can do about it. We have come that the will of the Most High may prevail. Radio Biafra is unorthodox. The way we do things are markedly different from how others do it. We are under divine instruction. We have come that GateKeepers may take control of these very proceedings this evening, for we are nothing without him. O Elohim, GateKeepers, unto thee we repose all that we are. Do not allow your children, IPOB, to be put to shame. Do not allow us to be devoured by the hands of the wicked. Do not allow us, O Mighty One, to fall prey to those who do not know thee. You will deliver us, not because we are righteous, but because of your mercy. Hear our cry and our supplication. We are not armed. We have not killed anyone. We have not jailed anyone. We have not done anything at all to warrant the level of destruction and carnage being visited upon your children. The same way Israel suffered, so is Biafra suffering today. And if you, Elohim, can deliver Israel, so will you deliver Biafra. That is our hope. That is our anchor of everything that we hold dear as a race and as a people. You brought Biafra that light may come into Africa. You gave us hope because we are in a continent of hopelessness. And by thy grace, Biafra shall be restored. We shall be resurrected. We shall crown our efforts with the glory by the grace of the Most High himself. We are not strong. We do not pretend to be strong. All we do is to submit ourselves to your will, that your will may be done upon our lives. We have lost many people. We have lost so many good people. Their sacrifice will never be forgotten. We shall honor them, and for their sake Biafra will come. Israel lost people, and today Israel is here as a beacon of hope in a land filled with darkness. We beseech thee, O Elohim, because we are wandering all over the world, hoping against every hope that things will turn around for the better. It has never turned around for the better. Instead, it is getting worse. Please do not abandon your children. You have given us a commission, and we must accomplish it in our lifetime. We have come to honor your holy name. We have come to praise thee. We have come to honor thee, that your name may be glorified, adored, and praised forever and ever.
Without fear before our enemies, we have sworn an oath to restore Biafra, or we die in the process. There will be no retreat and no surrender. If the option they give to us is to seek our restoration by violence, every living thing living in the zoo will be destroyed. All the animals will be destroyed. It's a promise and a pledge we are making to them. They must understand that we just don't love our country. We are fanatical about Biafra. We will do everything humanly possible to ensure that Biafra comes. It is either the flag of Biafra is raised up or I am lowered into the grave. One of the two must happen. It is better for this heaven and this earth not to exist than for Biafra not to come to pass. We dedicate it into the hands of Chukwu, the creator of the heavens and the earth, because only him decreed that we should exist as a race, and only him has the say to decide and to determine if we are to survive or not. We don't rest our hopes in any man. We don't believe that any country can do anything for us. We are going to reaffirm our faith in the supremacy of the creator of the heavens and the earth, Chukwu Abiyama, upon to whom and in whom every glory and honor belongs to. That's why we worship him and nothing else and no other. We worship the one true living God. That is who we worship. That is why we were created. We are not like any other people. We have been chosen by Chukwu Abiyama to serve him. We have been chosen by the creator of the heavens and the earth that we may serve him. That is why in our names it contains every praise imaginable. Every praise imaginable to the Most High is contained within our names because we are very special people. We are here to reaffirm and reiterate that. We are here to ensure that this very march towards our freedom cannot be hindered. Any obstacle on our way, real or imagined, man or woman, adult or child, anything it is, once you are an impediment to the restoration of the sovereignty of Biafra, you will be destroyed completely and totally in every way imaginable. We do not forgive. There is no forgiveness in our dictionary. We are here to ensure that the death of 3.5 million people is not forgotten. It is to them that I owe every ounce of loyalty and obligation. They are not here to offer any advice or to ask us to forgive Gowon. They are not here to ask us to forgive Haruna. They are not here to ask us to forgive the Yoruba people and the Awolowo family. The reason why we exist is to ensure that their memory, that they can never ever be forgotten, that their memory will linger on forever, that as long as man walks this earth, this world will remember the 3.5 million people that they killed, men and women that did nothing, children that were innocent. Their only crime is to be blessed by God. That is the only crime they have committed. As those children were being slaughtered, as they were being starved to death by a very wicked and cruel world, spearheaded by Awolowo, everybody looked on and did nothing. Instead of them to help us, they ensured that our absolute blockade from land, air, and sea was absolute, that we may die, that the children of God may die. But lo and behold, Chukwu Abiyama determined that we cannot die, that we cannot perish, because we are his own. Despite all our iniquities, despite all our sins, he made us in his image. He gave us that very edict to worship him, and that is what we do every blessed day on this radio station, without fail and without the fear of any human being, talk less of an animal in the zoo. We are here to worship Chukwu Abiyama. For those who don't understand what Chukwu Abiyama means, he is the creator, the supreme creator of the heavens and the earth. And to him we owe everything that we are. And upon him and to him does every honor and glory belong to. This know what it means. Most of us do not understand what it means to be a Biafran. You have not seen anything yet. I was kidnapped. I was beaten. I was spat at. My clothes were ripped from my body. Women urinated and poured it on me because of Biafra, so that they may humiliate me to such a point that I will not talk about Biafra anymore. They videoed me. Masop has a video of me where they were beating me, dragging me on the floor, tearing my clothes because I spoke the truth. That did not stop me from talking about Biafra. It did not stop me from taking Radio Biafra to Enugu. It did not stop me from broadcasting Radio Biafra from Nnewi. It did not stop me from broadcasting Radio Biafra from Onitsha, from Owerri, from Aba, from Port Harcourt. I am resolute. I don't retreat. Never. Nigeria has put me in detention before. Solitary confinement. It did not stop me from preaching Biafra. How about an imbecile some we are talking? How can that affect me? If those that kidnapped me and nearly killed me did not stop me from doing Biafra, how about an imbecile hiding somewhere? People must know who I am. I am destructively stubborn. You see Biafra?
Good evening, fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. This is Biafra Alpha Power Media International, and we are reaching you out from United Kingdom, North London to be precise. And my name is Mazi Umeh. I reside here in United Kingdom as one of the principal servants of indigenous people of Biafra. North London coordinator to be precise. And this is critical analysis. And for every avoidance of doubt, Mazi Umeh is one of the gatekeepers of IPOB worldwide. And this evening, we are going to touch a little stuff this evening. As you all know, whatever we do in this platform is with evidence. We fact check every step of the way that we deal with. Nothing comes out of heart. It has to mean something for us to dive into it, and specifically anything that concerns IPOB. And today is the 16th day. Today is the 18th day, year of our Lord, January 2024. And it's approximately 42 minutes on top of the hour here in United Kingdom. The same 42 minutes apply to the Holy Land of Biafra, which is 43 minutes past 9 p.m. Biafra land. And tonight we are inviting you as well. Welcome you, please welcome others, regardless where you are listening to a sound of my voice this evening. As long as you're connected to internet, you will definitely stream with us. We are streaming simulcastly through all the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter tonight. So you can join us and share this program, even though that they pretend they don't listen, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who cares to listen or how much they try to suppress the message. The message must get to whomever he desires to. You know, specifically, for some of you that are following the program we do in Alpha Power Media, Alpha Power Media is designed to expose the ill practices of those that ought to know better, those moles within IPOB and their handlers. And Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the fake barrister, happened to be one of them. You know, I titled this from episode 001, The Dilemma of a Failed Crooked Lawyer, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and this is the episode 3. And tonight, the true meltdown of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, we're going to talk about a couple of things. But like I always do, I don't just dive into issues without providing evidence. Anytime we talk about things, and tonight, the reason why before I start, I have to, you know, acknowledge our special counsel and everything that boiled down. This is damage control. These are the men that were contracted by the zoo government to come into IPOB with our leader. They want to hold our leader incommunicado, and they think they have succeeded. He came through the back door, and through the back door has he, you know, exited himself. I was in Biafra radio yesterday, and it's all about the game they're playing in the zoo right now, which is quite irrelevant to us. But I just want to put up something on the screen here the tweet of our special counsel. You know, because he's a man standing out. He's you know, he worked for our leader and IPOB, and he's been, you know, standing in the, you know, with that professional esteem in any way you want to, you know, try to find him. He's been doing what he's been asked to do and be paid for do, and he maintained the decorums of the profession. You know, because I know even within the zoo, they have code of conduct that guides them with their so-called law, which does not exist. They don't uphold. And today, this is after he exited the visit today. He said, "Update: I have exited today's meeting with HMMK in the company with Prince Ima, Kanu, and Barrister Nemeka. The theme of our discussion centered on the persistent failure of the Supreme Court to certify its judgment and transmit the case file to the High Court. We shall take strong action." And this is where all of us, this is the campaign we must, because they have got nothing else to do. But the reason why I'm talking about Ejiofor tonight is that Ejiofor is the instrument of what we are seeing today, because everything they have done was state managed. Ejiofor never filed anything. 2017, that Onyendu house was invaded. It was a Jimako that went back and filed against violating Onyendu's right in the High Court in Umuahia, and we won that case. And he was in Binta Yaku's court for over 5 years. Ejiofor could not establish what happened in Afali Quebec. Tells you all you need to know. And like I said, this is episode 003. But before I move forward, I wouldn't continue without giving you evidence of what Ejiofor have done in the past. And now, the reason why I'm doing this program is because the last charade he went to do in so-called BTV, which is Rapture Media, that are managed by Jackson, but at the end of the day, it's quite irrelevant. But whoever and the non-entity that interviewed him was a woman. She blocked me on Facebook. All the so-called infiltrator, we picked them up first. That lady blocked me on Facebook. I named them all when they started. They all blocked me. She blocked me on Facebook, and they allowed them because now they are speaking. Now they are the media worm. Imagine a riffraff sitting in people that have defiled the IPOB code of conduct. Only to say we do not forget. The voice I prayed before I start this program, you should listen to it. We do not forget means a lot. It must have sanctity and understood how we navigate and how we do things. The way we do things is different from every other. We set an agenda for ourselves, so we don't copy people. We implement things. We map out, agendas for ourselves, and that's how we have get to where we are today. So after that interview, we gave them some time, and I want you to listen to his previous interview because there's a lunatic that nobody knows. These are pseudos in so-called radio, murderers, because it doesn't stand for IPOB anymore. The last interview he had there before he emerged to the so-called trying to sell himself, but there's no way you're going to sell yourself. I want to make this abundantly clear. I want to be clear here. One thing you guys must understand is that there is nothing you guys have done that will be swept under the carpet as long as man walks this earth. As long as you open your mouth, even the ones you say in secret, we know. The ones you kept in secret, we keep it in secret because probably we won't prove it. But anything you have come out and said, we will use that against you. That is why you said you're a lawyer. Remember that when you've been arrested by a cop, the first thing they say you have the right to remain silent because anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. So remember every bit of words that have come out. Things you've said in the past, you might think you forgot. Social media, do not forget. Even those that invented it never know how powerful it was going to be. But today we are in this space. So people need to guard. They need to be guarded on things they say and things they do. So before I proceed tonight, I want to read a very pertinent memo that Ejiofor introduced in IPOB. The genesis of where IPOB today, I want to remind you once again. Like I said, we will almost remind you. The genesis of IPOB of today. That we are the position we are, which we have to pass this rocky path of IPOB to see how we can emerge as a people or as a nation. I want to read it one more time. I'm not going to read all of them. I will definitely read part of it because it is very, very there to me to expose whatever they have done in the past and thinking that we does not have any arms of evidence against them. Now, this was titled, this is titled on the 19th July 2021, the fraud committed, by Chike Doziem and Madam Oyiborita Eze, Isi and cohort. These are approved. And if some of you remember, this is the enemy at the gate. Chinedu Collins was one of them. So this is like actually a small pamphlet, about 20-something pages, and we shared it in Biafra Alpha Power Media and UK Media. You can access it in our platform. This is the fraud they committed in America. How they stole the $747,000 US. Ejiofor drafted a falsified memo, which I think I read this over time, but I want to, with time permit me, I will read it for the avoidance of that. Probably those that just joined us now. Let me start with this. This is it's an IPOB guiding principle. This is concocted story. Rita Ezeisima, Madam Oyibo, and you have to pay attention for the fraud committed against leadership. That the following principle will guide the activities of IPOB until further notice, as directed by my client. Ejiofor, if you see the English, this is Ejiofor. It doesn't take any rocket science to you to know who wrote this. It was Ejiofor. The English, the pattern of writing is what you must pay attention to. He never came out to defute this, that it wasn't him that wrote it. And because I'm going to play a voice concerning Bruce Fame, because when they asked him about it, he says some people called him. Who are those that called you? The idiot that were interviewing, he never asked him, who were those people that called you, since he's not the so-called leadership? They never asked him that question because they have got no balls. Now, I just want to make it clear. I say, client, Mazi Umeh can never give Ejiofor any authorization because Ejiofor never met Onyendu. Ejiofor, 8 weeks after Onyendu was renditioned to the zoo, Ejiofor never met Mazi Umeh one-on-one. Ejiofor come out and tell Biafrans that he met Mazi Umeh after 8 weeks. So why would you be drafting a memo and saying your client said? I want you to remember that. Now, it says all ESN contribution, donation, fundraising, monthly maintenance, including but not limited to ESN money in Italian account, which they stole, and from IPOB worldwide account goes into the U.S. national account under U.S. Finance Department appointed by Mazi Umeh, which is the IPOB worldwide ESN central account till further notice, which they closed. And every contribution, including but not limited to dues for IPOB North America Central, North America Continental, goes directly into the same U.S. account managed by Mazi Umeh appointed financial officer. And let me say this, IPOB have only one financial head. Any other person that are working under finance is under Madam Nenyanya. But as I read through, you will see where they contradict themselves. Shows you that all these things was coup d'etat they did on a broad daylight because they know what they were doing. B said the USA 4 region will be supervised by Mazi Umeh, the IPOB USA Central Region Coordinator, to ensure that all regional coordinators are in compliance till further notice. And for your information, if further notice, when people are writing further notice with full stop, I mean a decree, for your information. Then C goes to say, IPOB head of finance should limit her contact to the national financial department of each country. Remember what he said. The C said, IPOB head of finance should limit her contact to the national financial department of each country. So if she now limits herself, how will we manage our finance? But this is the genesis of our problem. All the whole thing we've seen today that people are came up and now want to be in charge of finance, Ejiofor instrumented them, and must not have a direct contact with any IPOB state zones and unit financial officers of any country. They're talking about who is foreseeing what they do. Madam Nenyanya is IPOB head of finance. So I do not know where they get the notion from. Now, this says account, statement, spreadsheet, donors list, or any IPOB document must be given to IPOB asset and fund recovering officer. Remember, the person that actually purported you to have this position, which was never officially announced to IPOB, I wasn't aware of this, was Neri of Ebu. Nobody know where when they started this whole onslaught. And they use those they use as their willing tool. Now it goes on to say, we demanded or asked the account will be audited and closed if there is misappropriate of IPOB fund. I wish they could have done what they said, because 747,000 we're talking about here was Madam Oyibo shut the account down without no evidence of how it was closed and where the money went to, and they goes on to open Umeh account that will never know what happened. He goes on to say, every fundraising activities must be approved by IPOB Finance and Audit Department, which is they're filing to Nelly Ofebu. On this occasion, this thing happened on the 17th. On the 19th of, remember that Onyendu was kidnapped. Can you imagine the impetus? Onyendu was kidnapped on the 19th of June. So barely 1 month, Onyendu was kidnapped. They concocted all this, and 4 weeks. Ejiofor never met Onyendu after 8 weeks to 9 weeks. to tell you what that man did. And while the land of Biafra will never forgive Ejiofor and his generation because he has soiled his hand. Now, there goes on to say on E. Now, no, in F, he said, Rita OAZEC is the deemed and authorized representative and has the authority to manage all finance operations, sign, execute documents, and contracts in the name of IPOB and Mazi Kanu without any further authorization by Mazi Kanu. You understand what I'm saying? Without any authorization by Mazi Kanu, they passed the decree there. Now, I wrote this over, and Bruce Fem was mentioned. This particular document is in our, this is where Bruce Fem was mentioned in this particular. These are the people that had things to do then. And when they asked Ejiofor, I'm going to play the video to you to listen. I have my reason why I have to show you this because it's very, very important. Our people always forget. You know, they said if you want to hide something for a black man, put it in writing. Our people always forget, but they don't know that we don't forget. We keep our records intact. So, yeah, I have to show you this. But before I go forward tonight, I will start by, I'm going to play the previous, there is an interview Ejiofor did. And I want to show some things. But before then, I want to play that particular audio first. I want to play it before I will come to the present audio that I want to analyze tonight. And you can see, though Ejiofor himself know that it has got nothing to do with IPOB, neither our leader. It was official. But I want to actually do it in a very, because I want to end him up tonight. And that's it. I'm not going to come back about Ejiofor. Ejiofor no longer have any affiliation with IPOB. I want to be clear on that. Now, I want you to listen to this audio. This was what he did with one of the guys they call Nwachineke on so-called Radio Biafra. Now, as somebody that called himself, and it might be a barrister or a lawyer or attorney representing a client, there is a limit of information you must not utter out there if he's not authorized by your client. Because when somebody is behind bars, the only best friend the person have is his lawyer or attorney or barrister, as you might call it. Ejiofor has violated every arms of so-called code of conduct that guides the principle of law and the relationship between client and his lawyer or attorney. By coming in the platform of his client and make some claims and assumption without even admitting that he knew that his client would not authorize him to do so, but he sat there and said all those things because it's part of this whole menace. Let's listen to this audio first. Very, very important.
Alpha Power Media International.
I'm Mazi. Instantly with the number, telephone number, no one in the Wahana Mobonori. Now, government they go and can be a one day. I was attacked na court na to.
But Stefan I met 2015 or broke one Kita na 2022, 23, 2015.
I was attacked. I was physically attacked na court. Boshana Otoni in the court. I was attacked on 23rd of December 2015. Na court. Patrum soon I'm can come watching it. That they can tell what's not.
Now cross room. When you hear soon on when he came bota ka ụmụ Biafra nụcha ihe niile ndị ọzọchi ka nchịkọta akụkọ ajụjụ a niile n'ime akụkọ anyị na-akụ ka ịkọpụcha ha ncha. Nke ọzọ bụkwa Bruce Fem oge ahụ ọ bịara IPOB ọmanye ya ka onwe ndị kpọbatara ya na onwe ndị ji akafa maka ife eji na-ajụ ajụjụ abụ maka Kinsley ịkpọrọ afa since 2015 ka ndị be na-aghọta onwe ndị ji akafa kpọta Bruce Fem ọbịa tupu ife mere eme ka ọ bụ onye nduzi ya bịa ọba anyị nwa dị incharge ụmụ ife ndị ahụ gasị ngachọ nnọọ ka ịchịkọta pancha n'okwu niile ị na-ekwu gaa n'iru barrister ndị nne na-ege ntị gesi ike ọfụma ha na-edere m ife ebe a.
Okay, one, Bruce Fem called me. I don't know him. I have not made contact with him before from US. When some people, when they come on the phone actually, not to no one, and because however, before when they called me
Just like what I told you. He narrated where he came into. He came through the back door, actually. Those that brought him. You know, his character was questioned from day one because this guy was a charge and bail lawyer in Abuja, doing some property management or whatnot. Before whoever that brought him. And the Kingsley was mentioning, Kanu question about Ejiofor in the meeting that were held, I think, on the 19th of January 2016 in UK here, because then Obeta was still the official Onyendu's lawyer then, even though Obeta was playing games. Because then it was our former deputy leader that was recommended him, I think they were friends. And our former deputy leader for me for speak on, because regardless what he has done in the past, but he didn't resist. When they find out the guy was playing game with our leader, and he was sacked before this moron, Kenzen. Kanu questioned his integrity. Because some of you don't know Kanu Takano is a member of IPOB, and Kanu speaks his mind. For little time that I've known Kanu, is a man that speaks with, he's a man that talks very, a man with very short words, but with a lot of actions. That's how I can describe Kanu. I can describe him in 2 words. He talk less and do more. Take it to bank. And it's not because he's Onyendu's brother. No. That's not, I'm not seeing him. I never treat Kanu special because he's Onyendu's brother. I treat him as a fellow comrade. And that's how he presents himself. Even though he's a prince, to be fair to him, I never called him prince, but I called him Mazi. But he never questioned. They are not care for that. Like our leader never care. He doesn't care. So Kanu question his integrity. And that is what is playing out today. Right? And that is what he just said. And they rushed him in the court because nobody knew who this guy was. And now we can see exactly what is happening based on his record, what he has done, because he has done absolutely nothing since he emerged as Onyendu's lawyer and IPOB at large. Remember that every IPOB member, Ejiofor told you that the release was, we paid money for them to, because it was a business. Ejiofor collaborated with the zoo government and their agents. They were arresting IPOB left, right, and center because money was pumping in. Onyendu said it in our radio then, that we are paying, and we still continue paying. There's no, if the law is working, why is our leader even case? The new one, they couldn't even bring his judgment to the so-called federal high court to tell you that everything we have done in the past was paid for. They told us they struck 7-count charge. Today they've reversed everything. All these things is shenanigans. There's nothing there. They were a part of it. All of them were buying time, making money, jumping up and down. He went to the major church, saying he was going to come out and join us in December when this thing happened in 2020. It's not in 2021. Some of you have forgotten. But I wanted to finish first.
From US and said someone will call me, a lawyer from Nnamdi lawyer will call me from US. We spoke, okay, the person should call me. I'm Bruce Fine. I'm Bruce Fine. So Bruce Fine also was in court.
But he never told him who are those people, those claiming leadership. They wasn't aware of who Bruce Fine was. That is why the one they called China Sawanketa, the slave child, we are against them, because he said anytime Bruce Fine came, they were paying $50,000 as if it was coming from his pocket. He never contributed a dime in IPOB. He's making his living through IPOB. But then he never mentioned who was those people, because somebody that is interviewing somebody, he asked question because he was purporting himself that they are in charge. Now he's telling you that it is not so-called leadership. Because I want to make one distinction here. There is no other leadership in IPOB apart from the one Onyendu structure. And there was no two leadership in IPOB. We have only one. And who led IPOB is our leader. These men have an agenda. That is why they're creating fraction within IPOB. There's no leadership other than IPOB structure is. Inclusiveness of every single principal servant of IPOB without excluding any person. That's your position. That's what makes IPOB the indigenous people of Biafra. And we come under one central command. You will hear what they say, under one central command. So when Onyendu was here, have you had any individual saying leadership in any way? Have you ever had that before? That's all you need to know. The memo I read from the beginning was what created that leadership. And that's what they were running with. And today, they are, all of them are mad. I want you to finish because I want to show you some write-up of some of these unscrupulous elements around before I analyze them. Very, very pivotal and important.
Was also came around then. And that time I had to go letter. I had to go letter to the court, requesting the court to approve him, to give approval for him to come inside the court, of that about the court. Then the court the court never responded to that letter at all. Then on the day the matter was scheduled for hearing of objection, and then Professor Michael Zekome was in court to lead us. Bruce Fine Western now we must not, the matter must not go on. Listen carefully. Matter was not go on. And I have the documents. I have everything I'm saying in writing. That with me. So the matter should not go on. That we should stay away from court again. Most people find I'm no longer the leader, the lead counsel in this matter. Ozekome is now leading us. And before I will do anything in this case, I will seek his approval. And Ozekome said, he didn't come here for drama. He came here to defend Nnamdi and get him out. He doesn't want anything that will stop the proceedings of. That was what happened. Of course, you know that some people will be scheming. The schemers around will be walking around to ensure that they bring in confusion one way or the other, and the ability to know when they're coming, where they're coming from, and also the intent, what it is, and also prepare their heads ahead of time, make you smarter than them. That's number one. Now coming to I have gone public against Aloy Ejiofor before now, but I was being restrained by Mazi Umeh.
Now, it is very, very important that they say he could have gone publicly before now, but the question is, did Onyendu not authorize you when you were speaking? Because he said a lot, but I played this chunk on that interview with that moron. Some of you didn't listen to the episode 1 and 2, but it is quite irrelevant. And their new orchestrated plan, because Onyendu, this man and people that we all need to remember, who are the individuals that are behind us, all this onslaught. The so-called pseudo-chinas and world, nobody knows who is the Chike. Those Austin Alban, the nitwit himself, or Forma is a devil, and the lazy Tony Nzurumike. Regardless, whatever they are planning against our leader, it's not going to work. We are here. Blackmailing won't wash. They have done everything. All their media worm today, they will eat when I told them they will eat their flesh of their flesh, none of them understand my words. Today, tell me where are they? They were into violence. We told them. You don't see me come on social media every day ranting because I'm not into, we are not monetized. And what we are doing is divine. We allow you to sell. And after all this ranting, one broadcast will destroy everything you have done in the last 1 month. That's my guarantee to you. The guy, before Chinasa Sawol was shouting on Radio Biafra, he never knew that idea like this would come. Where is it today? Where is it today? Because the truth is only the truth can stand the test of time. Regardless who is involved. It doesn't change. You can't call me in the back, or there's nothing you can give to me. If our leader did not compromise, what is in the world can you offer me to speak in your own language? It's not going to exist. Now, I want to play the last so-called interview he did with a very retarded old this woman, because I don't want to use word that is not appropriate, but to be fair, this was the people that has betrayed whatever we were doing, and they accepted them back through the back door because they want them to become a willing tool to destabilize what we are doing. Ejiro doesn't, including the one they call Efe. This individual shouldn't come here to IPOB. They shouldn't be in any. Look at the idiot guy, the drug addict that live in South Africa. All these people are there. You say media warrior. That's what fractions. There is nothing like media warrior in IPOB. We all depend. If you guys are in media are quiet. Because every single individual that have smartphone is a media warrior. We fought BBC, CNN before now, before some of you join. We've gone through this phase. Our Facebook, Radio Biafra Facebook was over 1.8 million was disabled. The same time mine was disabled. It is not today. So when you guys yapping your media, I was like, who made you media warrior? Do you to blackmail your fellow comrade? Is that what you call yourself, media warrior? Media what? It's against our oath we took. Listen to him. And this is his meltdown. This audio now is the Ejiofor's meltdown because now the message was clear. I read it last night. And if parts permit me about Onyendu, when Onyendu was the Onyendu's okay, let me allow him to play, then I will bring that particular publication. Very, very important.
International.
So, which also needs a GI doctor to be reviewed, and also investigated too, and further tests to be conducted to that effect. So he told me he had already arranged with the junior brother to bring that person, the GI doctors, and to come. And he also asked me to let him do that as quickly as possible. So because of the urgency of his medical situation. So, and that message was passed to him. So I met him and we had a discussion. Expectedly, the doctors must have seen him by now. So, however, yesterday being 29th of December 2023, I had a communication also arising from what you are saying, that he's made a complaint about his medical situation, which requires the intervention of the physician, the subsisting doctor, who also went to see him and had a meeting with him and the personnel of the SSS. So, and during that meeting yesterday, also made his doctors made recommendation for further text, and also and during my discussion with Mazi Nnamdi, he said he has engaged his junior brother to bring that person. So that was last week ago, and they emphasized on the urgency of the persons to come as yesterday. So, and that message was conveyed to junior brother to ensure that the person is brought to see him within that period of time. So, and I can, as I said yesterday, nobody has come. So wow. I'm hopeful, I'm praying that the person will come probably by next week, because it's also very urgent and important that the person sees him as quickly as possible. Because the doctor said this person must be an expert, GI expert. It's a recommendation for his medical doctors that GI expert must review him. So, and the person must see him as quickly as possible. And the urgency was emphasized that the person must come as quickly as possible to see him. So, and that message has conveyed to his junior brother, who is to bring the person according to my discussion with Mazi Umeh. So this is where I stopped. So before I said a call came in yesterday on account of complication arising from his health situation, requiring his medical doctors to see him as quickly as possible. And his medical doctors went to see him yesterday and had a meeting with him in the presence of the personnel of the state security services, and the in-house medical doctors of the SSS. During which meeting, the doctor made a recommendation for further tests to be conducted as quickly as possible, and also recommended for possibly drugs. But I wasn't there. So that's where we'll stop now. So, and going forward, I said I cannot be in a position to give the particulars of his medical challenges, because they are all all private issue. Is privileged matter.
There's a very significant thing here I want to address. Anybody that have listened to Ejiofor's previous interview with all these clowns, the way he was ranting and shouting, that's something that struck me and is concerned about was our leaders' medical report publication. And I wouldn't say is our leaders' medical report publication, because it wasn't. But when some people are projecting something, and this brought us to the reality of things where we are. The publication I read it yesterday, but I might be forced to read it again tonight just to buttress what I'm saying. But I will pause it here. He says he's not in a position. He's a lawyer. He have access to our leader, who showed Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a program. I think is in episode. It's going to be episode 5. It's going to be coming on soon, right? Like I said, everything we do is detailed. and there's an archive. All these things are something we're going to use against this man. If Arjuna will be a blessing in Biafra land to compare to this man's name in our unborn children, even on our lifetimes. Now, before I produce with this audio, I want to show two things here before I read the publication. This very individual is one of the people that was, nobody knows who this guy is, even though we have a couple of his picture, because his witch sister lives in Italy. All the things they've done in Italy. Italian program is coming on Saturday as usual. We are going into episode 0012 now, and it still goes on. Now, issue of Onyendu Medical. This is what this guy posted on his Twitter handle. Because when they pay $150 or what not for Mike Zuckerberg to Elon Musk, so it allows you to write a lot of rubbish. He writes an episode there that he has got no clue what happened to our leader. But this is their own eye towards Onyendu. He's telling you that he cannot say, he cannot give you the account. This is when you know people that is the impediment of our leader's predicament, all those people that is involved. This guy had the nerve to went to his Twitter handles and say, I am not a prophet. No, it is not this one. This is a different thing. This is about amnesty, but I want to get the medical report issues. Where's the medical report? Yeah, sorry about that. This is the medical report about our leader by the same clown. I'm talking about the medical. When to write something against any individual about their health, medical, it's called medical report. You don't even have the right to do that. Even if your doctor doesn't have the right to publish your medical records, no one have that right to do so. Now, this clown wrote this, but their so-called charge and bail lawyer have now told you that he doesn't have right to say that because it's personal. It is now Ejiofor understood that there's something personal and there are things he wouldn't say. But I flashed this to show you that this guy said breaking news. This is the same way they say breaking news when Onyendu has been poisoned. There's nothing they have not said to ignite our people, to make sure that people went out there and commit crime. They will direct it to our leader, Mazi Umeh. Because everything they're trying to do is something that will contradict Onyendu. It's a breaking news. Breaking news, where did you get the breaking news from? The same lawyer, the only person they are assuming they might get because Ejiofor don't see Mazi Umeh 101. They don't tell him jack. Even till the 15th of December, that the so-called swear they went to go and do in the court, in the High Court, or what they call it, the Supreme Court. Now it's a report reaching IPOB leadership. Who is the leadership? Leadership. 2015, 16, 17, 18, nobody till Onyendu came out, we never had anything leadership in IPOB. Tells you all you need to know. I'm saying this for the hardcores. Understand where I'm coming from. But now you can see evidence of what we are talking about. It's a breaking news. The IPOB has it that Mazi Umeh is having some health complication as he have an internal vein bleeding and serious health issues need urgent attention. This is not for the benefit of Mazi Umeh. It's not out. Nobody gives them. If people, somebody should write this thing, should be Onyendu's younger brother, Mehmed, that have access to Onyendu. If there's somebody to write about Onyendu's, anything about Onyendu's medical, to be his younger brother. Because that is his life. It has got nothing to do with IPOB. It's got no authorization from anybody. The clown Ejiofor, the magic, more that the Jew plotted, have now said it. I flash it for everybody to understand. Like I said, we don't just come here to say things. We bring evidence with us. So Ejiofor is talking in readings that he has no right to speak, and because he said, Inai admitted that he was not there when these were discussed. Onyendu, he now confessed that Onyendu have spoken to his younger brother. We used to have argument. If Ejiofor confirming that Emmanuel Meme is the one Onyendu wanted now, they came before, told you that they plan to operate Onyendu without them knowing. The same propaganda. The reason why I'm doing this program tonight, I want to open some of your eyes to understand, because Ejiofor is a past tense. But the reason why I said this will be in the archive. Remember when they were shouting that Kanu and the Onyendu family plan to poison to kill our leader? But now Ejiofor is telling you that Onyendu ordered his younger brother, because Onyendu will not trust you with his life more than his own immediate younger brothers. He's telling us that he went to arrange for Onyendu medical, that Onyendu's life now is more important to you than his family members, immediate family members. And you are an employer. He employed you. You are an employee, not because he's your employer. They employed you to work for them and work for IPOB at large. We must make a distinction here. But this clown, these are the people that sold Mazi Umeh, that program will come on. And my reason why I flashed this particular thing here, because you see that guy, he claimed that nobody knows him. We'll keep it that way. But the program will continue, because we are laying our facts to bear and to the world to see. We have to expose them to there is no place to run. These are people who push on the Mazeran boys. Everything they project, we know. But like I said, I just want to show you this because Ejiofor just confirmed that he has no right, because it's Onyendu's personal life. And Ejiofor now have confirmed to them that he wasn't even there. It was Onyendu's decision. This was things that's been going on for long, but now because he's finally sacked, gone forever, and he's still pleading to be attached himself with Mazi Umeh's name, because Ejiofor doesn't mention Mazi Umeh. Tell me what his life is going to look like. Please help me out here. Very, very important. But I will rest it there. Let's listen to the rest of the clip, and I will analyze it. And let's see. Let's listen.
So I may not be in a position to say that he's suffering from this, suffering from that, or this is actually what is a problem. So, but I can give an overview of situations which is passing through. But these are all when it comes to personal medical history of an individual. This is supposed to be managed with extreme confidentiality. So just like when you have a meeting with a discussion with a
now he said we have to handle with absolute confidentiality. So where did the clown get all these things he wrote now? I'll flash it again. Where did he get all this report now? So since he says confidentiality, so where did all this come from? And you are their transmitter. You are the one giving them information. You are the one that wrote the memo that they're working upon. Because these are Biafran community, in exile or whatever they want to call themselves. They're not IPOB member. But now you're talking about confidence. This is the first time I had this man talk about confidentiality as a lawyer. He knew what confidentiality is, but he was going out there to say things about his client that's behind bars. But he understood the word of confidentiality. Very, very important. That some people pay attention and listen to understand where we are, because, like we said, there's no need to blackmail anybody. Doesn't matter who that person might be. My enemy, I don't need to blackmail you if you have done something. If you do something good, I will say it. Doesn't matter.
Client, and he reveals some information in the course of managing a client as a lawyer, client-lawyer relationship. Whatever information you obtain from the client has to be managed with extreme confidentiality.
Very, very important. Ejiofor is telling you the relationship between client and his lawyer. That every information you obtain will be managed with confidentiality. Absolutely madness. Did you hear the last video I played? On Go, and Ejiofor came out and told you that he's most trusted. On Radio Biafra platform, he knocks his chest. That is the most trusted. The day I had that guy utter that word, I marked him bad. Even though he's been a suspect. But in my mind, the day I had Ejiofor open his mouth and say he's the most trusted of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as a lawyer, I knew that this guy was a criminal. And that's why I said he's a meltdown. The true meltdown of Ifeanyi Ejiofor, the fake barrister. Now, Ejiofor is telling you, is now quoting the confidentiality between a client and his lawyer. Wonder shall never end. Because I said, at the end, we win. But it's good that it's coming out from his mouth, from his guts. Listen to him.
So this is how it stands today. And as such, I cannot be able to give details of what the probably case is, a medical case or medical history. But I have to give you up to date of what we are,
I will take questions from the public chat. The last one is what would be the next step in the legal strategy to secure the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and address the situation with IPOB?
I may not discuss this part with you because it's supposed to remain private. Strategy, any strategy being adopted by lawyers should remain private.
I mean, that's why I started meltdown. Anyone that have listened to this animal from the beginning know how Ejiofor talk vulgarly. Ejiofor have no integrity. He's supposed to, even to, that's why he's fighting in the village. This man's supposed to be a native doctor in the village. That is why he's fighting for no win in his village. He say he has problem with Mekofo. He didn't tell you what he was fighting for. They're fighting for no win in his village. The man's supposed to go back to village and do what probably he has some calling natively. He should go and address. He's not qualified to be even to represent a goat in court. I've been honest with him. But today, he's not eat his own words. That is why I took my time, because I wouldn't let this video pass by without addressing it. I've allowed him in a couple weeks now. They did this shred. And the voice he's hearing is one of the ladies that actually ridicule IPOB that brought us to where we are today. And all these evil men brought them because they're using them to blackmail the fellow comrades in the struggle. It's an absurdity in the highest order.
Because if you discuss a strategy on this platform, the government will know your strategy. So, and they will have a counter strategy against it. So, strategy.
All these things are medicine after that. All the money that will be taken from DSS and the zoo government, you're definitely going to vomit it. It's a matter of time. They're going to come after you. Already you have a criminal pending case for defrauding a client. These things are the things Bruce Fame saw and told you to honorable resign, that you're not qualified. You brought to Ezekome. Ezekome came, hoping that he have something to offer, but all of you was in the same boat. So, but today, the truth is standing in all of us' faces, so there's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to run to. You have to face your own, you have to carry your own cross by yourself. That's the reality of life. Very, very important.
Lawyers to be adopted in getting me out to remain with lawyers. So, and I may not be able to discuss it in public because a lot of people are listening to this interview, including DSS are listening to it, the police are listening to it, the civil defense are listening to it, the NIA they are listening to this interview, because once they mention my name, I want to talk. They want to hear what I'm saying. So,
quitting as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu defense lawyer. Wow, this is a tough one.
So what?
He said, please ask barrister if he's considering quitting as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu defense lawyer.
When you have somebody, though the lady is a clown, because whatever she's asking is something written down. It's like, if I really bring somebody on a program to question you, just like if you watch a talent program we're doing, the voices we are playing there, we don't edit them. We let it because we want the truth to come out. And his concerns is IPOB internal affair. There was no need for it, but because of the way they've gone about it, we have to make it public. Now, is asking him a question if he's considering. But this is question themselves is asking him. But already they know the man has already been sacked. is a failure. All of you have a job in Europe, even wherever you're working. If you fall short on your job, ask yourself fundamental question. Will your boss still keep you to work for him, paying you for doing nothing? That is the dumbest question I ever heard in my entire life. And this is what they project to you to be a BTV. A clown is asking a question, a dumbass is asking a clown question. But we have to talk about it because it's important that we pay attention to what they're saying. Very important.
You see, the people have been asking me these questions. In this case, I started this case in 2015. Of course, everybody is away. So to defend the Mazi Umeh and succeeded in getting him out 2017. Now,
for record purposes, you never get our leader out. You never get Onyendu out. Onyendu was never released. And the pressure that is Zoo made the Zoo to give Onyendu, I want to categorically and emphatically clarify this here tonight. Ejiofor, why Onyendu came out from DSS dungeon with from the Kujo prison with stinging bail was not based on whatever you have done. It was the pressure the Zoo was in, and that's why they gave him a stinging bail. Because if it was you that actually did the work to get our leader out, you could have been fine about the invasion of our leader. The moment that thing happened, that was the first thing you should have done. But tomorrow morning, he did it after 4 years. After 4 years, when Onyendu was brought back into the Zoo, and it was not clear. That is why the day he brought it up in Binta Yaku's copy, she threw it away before he went and fired it through the back door. So don't open your mouth and say that you brought Onyendu out. He never brought our leader out. The plan was Onyendu to be being out, to go and kill our leader, and which we were involved in it as well. All you did was to use it as a fan to be collecting an award. Ifeanyi Ejiofor was a literature writer across the board. Things Fall Apart have sold billion copies. All the awards who gave him in 67, before 67, he returned all of them back because of what he stands for and what he believes in. Go and do your research properly before you start making mockery of yourself.
He was abducted and brought to Nigeria 2021. We also proceeded. In the course of doing that, I'm also defending the IPOB. Of course, I'm not only a lawyer to Nnamdi, I'm also a lawyer to IPOB Council, which are two different entities. So, and we'll be defending IPOBs, recording tremendous history for them, unprecedented victories for them till date. So, if at any point in time,
you see how that is why I read that particular memo from the beginning. Do you hear him? That he's not a lawyer only for Mazi Umeh. Now, that thing alone gave him he's making a distinction that is not just IPOB, just Mazi Umeh. Because how did he get into IPOB? Onyendu is the leader of IPOB. As you're representing Mazi Umeh automatically, but now you're telling us that you are not working for Mazi Umeh alone, that you're working for the leadership as well. That was the reason why I read that memo to some of you, because you might not understand the importance of that memo and what that memo have done in the people's mind. Even Chikapole Doziem, the vegetable, the chronicle of a saboteur, the enemy at the gate himself, could not use IPOB letterheading to allow this particular memo to excel. Madam Oyibo said it in audio. We have it in other things. We did a program with it last year. It was Latina McPeters, one of our former U.S. National Secretary, Financial Secretary, that gave us this damning report because she was an American. She was born in America. But have the urge to support what we are doing before you found the fraud. And the lady will not accept it. She did a subsequently put auditing and report sent to Paul Chike. He sat on it. That is the reason why I read that particular memo. If he had him saying what he's saying, he's not telling you that it's not just for Mazi Nnamdi. But like I said from the beginning, like I said now, Ejiofor, legally in the zoo, you wouldn't get anybody out of prison without paying money. Every single individual that have released from Kujo prison or from DSS dungeon, IPOB paid for it. So you did nothing. And at a time, it become your own deal with them to make sure they arrest every IPOB member every week for you. Because as long as they are arresting IPOB member, your pocket is blossom. That is the fact of the matter. I will allow you to finish up.
Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi feel that he wants to probably reshuffle his Lego team and bring in new faces. He has my support. It's not. I've played my part in the case.
You can hear him the way he's talking. If Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi kind of feels like you want to reshuffle, all this is medicine after death. A man is sad, but he has no balls to tell them that I'm gone. That's why I titled the meltdown, the true meltdown of Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Because everything that he have said in the past and how he always been very vocal, he couldn't speak on this. I don't have to show his ugly face. His cattle face in this screen is not possible, not in this platform. But if we hear his ugly voice as well, so you could hear him talking. If Onyendu, so if Onyendu decide to reshuffle because you knew you already been sacked, you fail woefully because you're part of the zoo agenda. You were one of the elements they use. Very, very important.
I've done incredibly well in matter. So if he feels that he want to bring in new faces in the matter, it's wonderful, and I will applaud him to that effect. So that's all. So and that will not take me away from the matter. For the fact I will be following up and know what's happening. But the fact is that he asked me.
There's a caller, Barrister. There's a caller. Just one more call, and then I will allow you to go. So go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mazi.
Yes, and our Iroko from Ipoland, I really appreciate you. Good morning, sir. It's a privilege for me to be joined with great people.
These are psychophants. He's calling him Iroko. Somebody you're paying, you present that individual as well. This is how retarded our people have become, so subservient. He calling somebody that he employ, paying, he calling him Iroko for doing what? For sabotaging your leader and yourself. You call him Iroko. For what? This is how gullible our people are. Docile and invested. These are psychophants everywhere. We are more than, when sometimes we talk about Fulanis, they got more uphold their belief than all of us. Can you call a clown you're paying Iroko? Do you know what Iroko mean in Igbo? I don't know who is talking. Are you an Igbo person, even if you're not an Igbo person? Don't have your seven senses. You're calling somebody you're paying, your employee, Iroko, for doing what? For selling your birthright. Is that why you're calling him Iroko? It is quite appalling. And the clown, the lady, they gave a right piece of paper. Patrick came and co and took your form and write something and ask her to sit down and be asking question. Because she cannot speak without looking into what they wrote. Because you see the question she's asking is specific, not a random question. She wouldn't do that.
Like this. Yes, it's a great privilege, and I pray that IKECHUKWU will continue to give you the grace to continue this good work. Please, I have two questions. The first question goes to Wada Ejiro, and that question is just: can this BTV be streamed on GoTV, Star Times, and all that, so that a common people or DSTV can have access to them on their screen? at homes or in their offices or workplace. Why my second question goes to our able.
Yeah. It is quite appalling. You know, the person that actually made that call and his questions and whatnot was is a bit ridiculous to my, you know, is it like insulting your own self? And they asked the woman a question if the BC, the so-called BTV, they have spent arms and leg. They have been paying 660, I think 600 and something euro or 40 euro, because the Italian national coordinator will tell me, you know, I'm not going to ask them this question on Saturday again. We'll have to visit again. Because their initial vision was that it's going to be a TV that are going to be in transmitting in the local station. Like the person was asking, can somebody view it? There's nothing to view. It's a podcast. There's no TV anywhere. Go and look their platform. Their platform, who is operating their platform is Jackson. The guy that operates, what is it called? Rapture Media. These people are clowns. They don't know what they're doing. I said it from the day they came out and said they are launching BTV. The place they are paying money, there's no need for it. Because what they are using is a mobile studio that we all use. You don't need anybody to sitting down in one room, paying that person to come. No, you don't need it. All you need is a laptop, wherever you are. The guy that is in Brazil, is he in Italy? So how is he broadcasting? If it's BTV, they have office. It's not a correspondent. There's nothing transmitting anywhere. It's internet. Without internet, you can't broadcast. It's a common sense. But they defrauding people. Austin happened, they need to it because when you mention that, they jumped upon it, they stopped money from people. And the amount of money they have wasted because they have to create something up. They have to create a project for them to allow them to steal. There's no TV anywhere. All this money they wasted on that particular apartment they rented in Italy, in Padova, was wasted. Wasted money. Because I remember our national coordinator there said they send him 20,000. We are paying money. We are sending money to you. The account we are paying BTV was in Austria. Because I was paying money there. They asked questions, they couldn't answer it. So, you know, I want us to understand that as I stand today, and that will bring me, I know I've had a lot of, probably I have to have another 10, 15 minutes. That's something I want to read, which I read yesterday. And the reason why I want to read a bit of this is because of Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Ifeanyi Ejiofor knows that he's been sacked, and some of his handlers know as well that he's been sacked. But there's something I want to show you first, because sometimes we don't just speak verbally. You see, this was on 19th of December, 4 days after the so-called judgment. Now, this is the murderer himself. He said, as Supreme Court sent MMK case back to High Court, their next mission now is destroy IPOB legal team completely. Alert, folks. You know, when people always projecting stuff, and one thing you know already that has been done, they're still running, you know, regurgitating around issues. It will not help anybody. It is not going to get anywhere. But I just showed you that. But I just want to read this quickly before I will call it a night. The importance of this program is to completely, you know, buried Ifeanyi Ejiofor with his menace, but we have record of what he has done. I just want him to realize that his generation will never get away with what he has done. They have to man up to leave to see what their, if it is their father or whatnot has done. So, and now this is after the Supreme Court verdict. Nnamdi Kanu disbanded legal team. Nnamdi Kanu sacked medical team too. So now it's barely a month after he lost his bid to be free from continued detention. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, has sacked his legal team. Vanguard land on Thursday. And that was on the, if I'm not mistaken, this was on 18th. It's on 18th of, it's not 18th of January. I think this was on the, wasn't on 16th or so, because I copied this and I saved it, but it doesn't really matter. But it's been between the after the verdict, because I was supposed to have that date there, but it's not there. So now, Ejiofor knows that it's gone, and I just want to read paragraph, and I will stop it there. He said, a highly placed judicial source confirmed to Vanguard that the change of legal team was formally communicated to the legal team led by the senior advocate of Nigeria and a vocal legal luminary in Nigeria. It is true that shortly after the Supreme Court ruling Nnamdi Kanu, Ejimako and Nnamdi Ejiofor met with our leader, and he asked them to formally write the termination of the legal contract and give it to the legal counsel. So I just want you to pay attention. It has already been written, and to the legal counsel, whoever it is, and they have already done that, and the senior advocate of Nigeria has received the letter terminating the contract. The source said on Thursday. I will leave it there. There's no need for going further on this. I dealt with this issue yesterday. So the reason why I did this program tonight is that, like some of you did not know, I will put it on screen again. You can see the true meltdown of Ifeanyi Ejiofor. He's a proper fake barrister, and the dilemma of a failed crooked lawyer. Ejiofor name will remain in our hearts because of what he did and his contribution towards to make sure that Onyendu and IPOB is held down still in DSS dungeon in where they think is going to perpetually, because what they want is to keep Onyendu behind bars. Then now they will be running around pretending that they're doing something in the name of our leader, because Ejiofor wouldn't go anywhere without mentioning Mazi Umeh, because people believe that he is the point of contact. But all these things is now in the history of dustbin. So the purpose of this program tonight is to identify that Ejiofor has been the meme. When they say infiltrators or moles that have injected within IPOB, Ejiofor is the primary person on this era from 2021 till death, until when he finally signed. Because now he's going around trying to attach himself in legal team, but it's impossible because even it is official. Onyendu have instructed. That's why when you listen to him in that interview, he said Onyendu have the right to reshuffle. It's not reshuffle. You've been totally, relieve your whatever you think you have done in the past. But there's a consequences waiting for you at the end of the road. That's one thing you must not forget, Ejiofor. There's a consequences waiting for you. It is not Umuchineke anymore. There's a consequences of your deeds that will go. It will never wipe away from any of your offspring. You call it a call for a monster. You are beyond monster what you have done. Because you have done, your hands are soiled with blood. You are involved in so many things. Because actions speak louder than words. And you know what? And tonight is another privilege for all of us to be here. And like I said, this man is no longer Mazi Umeh and IPOB representative in any shape or form. And I thank God that he acknowledged that on his own words. And I re-echo it to you and show you things that I've said in the past. But most importantly, what I want to say to you this evening and this night or morning, wherever you are listening to my voice, we all need to form a very rare or force on Biafra radio that our leader has approved. Onyendu said that the era of 100 men is here now. And I said it last night, that if we have every one genuine IPOB member in every country, I said in every country, I'm not saying you have two. If we have every genuine IPOB member in every one country, we are over IPOB present in 150 countries that I know of. Yeah? That means we exceed 100 men. And I tell you, the era we are, we can do that. I'm telling you, there's mass exodus going on. So you need to get involved. Forget about the shenanigans. Forget about what they're saying, because every arms of imagination you must think of what they have done. You can see how they have failed woefully. They have no ground to stand there anymore. Because as long as you've been extricated from Mazi and Kanu, no one will speak to you. You can be their agent now to work against Mazi and Kanu. Good luck to you. But the point is, you can't be part of this family anymore. That's all I have to say. I have to rest my case there. And it's a privilege once again. And don't forget that we are coming on again. For some of you who does not understand, this is what we do. On Sunday, on Saturday, we will be here again to preach the gospel. It doesn't matter. This is episode 0012. We will be here on Saturday once again to expose the deed of the evil they have committed within IPOB, just like I've exposed them tonight, telling you what Ejiofor have done, because so many things he did in the past. I think when he came and rant and yap, people will clap for him that someone called him Iroko. All these things are psychophones. He don't believe in people who does not deserve to even mention their name. But we address you when it need be, and that's exactly what we are doing here. And tonight is another privilege. And as we see it tonight, and watch out for the Who Sold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because that program is going to come on next week, as we always bring it when it's necessary. You know what I mean? And like I said, we all must form a force under Biafra Radio. I said we must form a force under Biafra Radio, the mouthpiece of IPOB and Biafra at large. Regardless, whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does not approve doesn't exist. I don't care how, I don't even want to know what you do or how you feel about it. It's not my concern. I am an oath under oath in IPOB, and I sworn to stand by our leader head to head until we restore Biafra and beyond. Like he said, and I'll quote him, that the only thing that will take him away if Biafra did not come is better for him to lower 6 feet deep. I said it last night. 2 parents have gone down the range, and so many IPOB members has died. Our brother died in Iguacha and Trump rally. Say, go and get me Biafra. I'm asking majority of you today that run around like a mad cow. The oath he took, is it for? Do you think that oath is just for mere word saying, or is it just a common ritual to you? Do you understand the consequences of the oath you sworn in IPOB? If you do, you need to rethink. So I will encourage all of you to steadfast, and because at the end of the day, that have called all of us, that we made us to give us this, give us this privilege. Because I remember Onyendu saying that a time will come, it become a privilege to be like, what were the people that gallivanting themselves today? They started by attaching themselves, either Mazi Nnamdi Kanu IPOB member. Some of them will come online for them to generate followers. They will start talking about Onyendu. That is why I don't regard anybody that speak about our leader on social media that is not an IPOB member. Because when they didn't speak when the voice was needed. So how do we know that you're being sincere? And we're not forcing people to get involved. You can make your own assertion. There's no hard feeling about it, but it's what it is. Because Mazi Nnamdi cannot stand for freedom of every nation. Even Onyendu was in the correction center, he was the one fighting for the Boko Harams, those that they term Boko Haram, that they did nothing. So our leader is a man that stands in equity, justice, and fairness. These 3 things he must understand. I think he valued people more than himself. He's not just, he's a selfless man. It's not because he wants to become famous or he wants to read people. No. It is a divine calling. So it's a privilege once again to be in your presence, my fellow comrades and lovers of freedom. And this is Biafra Alpha Power Media, and this is critical. It is called critical analysis because we dissect things in a manner that even a layman will understand what we're saying. That is why when we come with evidence. And there's no prejudice whatsoever. There's no propaganda whatsoever. what you see is what you get. Like I have shown you, Ifeanyi Ejiofor has been buried, but with his whole cohort, including the so-called Biafra community that are led by Paul Chike Doziem and his cronies as well. These are the men that is holding Mazi Nnamdi, and these are focused on the Maz errand boys. And with the pseudonym they call Muhammad Abbas, aka Chinan Sawanketa. But when we started shouting about them, some people didn't understand where we are coming from. But like I said, you know, Onyendu say, what the Onyendu have said, you know, 7 years ago, manifested. The only thing that have left now that Biafra will be the last miracle. And that miracle will come. Watch out 2024. Before the end of this year, something that none of us expect will happen. Mark my word somewhere. I'm telling you, what you will say that before this year ended, something drastic the power will shake hands across the globe. I had a shell after 85 years. I have exited the offshore. You know how and they sold their property for 1.3 billion. They never came with anything, you know. But this is where we are. This is where we find ourselves. Harold Wilson tell our internal leader Ojukwu that because when Harold Wilson approached our leader, internal leader, about our oil, he told him that the people of Biafra will decide. And he told him, I will kill your people and will take your oil. That is why Britain will continue to find a house nigger. We ate them in the zoo. And now they have the Fulanis. Fulanis now have their own pulpit as well. But that will be a story for another day. May Chukwu Kabiyama continue to guide and protect all of us. And most importantly, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, my prayer to you is that okike that call you will always incubate you, because our prayer is not enough to keep you. If he is not him, all the things we do will never be effective. I thank all of you for listening. And my names are still Mazi Ejiofor. For me from here, it's good night from London. And this is Biafra Alpha Power Media. Thank you for listening.